Glamorous ball gowns, extravagant dinner parties, and loads of scandalous gossip. Netflix and Shondaland's Bridgerton has everything you need for the perfect period drama. With the recent drop of Bridgerton Season 2, fans are wondering about what the upcoming season holds. In this video, we're going to talk about some questions that fans are waiting to be answered in Season 2. So, what will happen to the now disgraced Featheringtons? During the beginning of Season 1, we see the Featheringtons holding on to a very prestigious position within the social sphere. However, as the season progresses, it becomes apparent that their financial position, and as a consequence, their social position, is quite fragile. The decisions made by both Lord Featherington and his wife Portia cost the family gravely. Portia's scheming to find her daughters a match and then meddling with Marina definitely led to a few temporary setbacks. However, it is Lord Featherington's gambling addiction that causes the most damage to the family. Lord Featherington seems to be a notorious gambler who has a penchant for losing all his big bets. The final nail in the coffin is when Lord Featherington bets the deed to his house in a boxing match, which he was also trying to rig. This eventually leads to his death, leaving Portia and his daughters with little to no means left to support themselves while maintaining their social position. Fortunately, or unfortunately, it's a bit difficult to assess at the moment, but nearing the end of Season 1, it's revealed that a male heir to the Featherington estate is on his way to London to help sort through the family's affairs. Lady Featherington seems to know who this new Lord Featherington is and seems a little troubled. Who is this new Lord Featherington? Could he be the late Lord Featherington's father? Maybe his brother? Or is it someone younger? Fans are hoping this season tells us more about the Featheringtons. Not only just the identity of the new lord, but also the fate of Portia and her daughters. Do Penelope and Colin still have a chance together? Speaking of the Featheringtons, fans of the show are super curious to know what fate awaits for the youngest Featherington. During the first season, we get a glimpse into the friendly yet slightly flirtatious relationship between Penelope Featherington and Colin Bridgerton. However, Colin's interest seems to be caught momentarily by Marina. When things fail to work out between the two, Penelope finally gathers the courage to tell Colin how she feels. Before she can confess, Colin reveals to her that he's going off to travel to Europe. Penelope is left disappointed and chooses not to reveal her feelings. It seems clear that the two share some sort of relationship. However, it's hard to tell whether Colin's feelings toward Penelope are romantic in nature. Fans are wondering if Bridgerton Season 2 will reveal more about the two. If the second season picks off immediately from where the first one left, then it seems a bit unlikely that we'll see much development in the relationship of the two, considering one of them will be traveling. However, if Season 2 starts after or near Colin's return, we may see more progress in their relationship. Penelope's love life isn't the only thing fans are curious about, but more on that a bit later on in the video. Will having kids change Daphne and Simon's relationship? Daphne and Simon were the key focus of the first season of Bridgerton, so we really got a close glimpse into how their characters develop over the course of the season. Our first impression of Simon is of a charming rogue who is reluctant to participate in the season's events. Slowly, as the series progresses, we see that this is only a persona that Simon puts up. In reality, he's just struggling to cope with being rejected by his father ever since he was a child. As Simon's relationship with Daphne develops, we see the two turn from strangers that are slightly annoyed with each other to friends, and then finally to lovers. One would have thought that things would be rainbows and unicorns once the two realize that they're in love with each other. However, Daphne's desire to have a family puts a wedge in the two's relationship. It is eventually revealed that due to his traumatic past with his father, Simon had vowed to never become a father. Nearing the end of the season, Daphne does become pregnant and gives birth to a son. We see the couple marveling over their son, but fans are curious to see if this new addition to the family will impact the couple's relationship in any way. Will Simon be able to overcome his past trauma? How will this impact his relationship with Daphne? And more importantly, his son. We're hoping to see at least a small glimpse into their storyline in Season 2. Will Anthony Anthony finally find love. During the first season, Anthony Bridgerton plays the part of the protective older brother. His overprotective role eventually led to Daphne's and Simon's engagement. And while we see the eldest Bridgerton daughter find love, the same cannot be said for the eldest son. Nearing the end of the season, it is revealed that Anthony is having an affair with an opera singer, Sienna, who is from a completely different social standing than him. Anthony, it seems, cannot get past their difference in social standards, which ends up hurting Sienna, who does not want to hide her relationship. She eventually decides to break things off with Anthony. With the recent drop of the Bridgerton Season 2 teaser, it seems that Anthony is the star of the show, but it seems that Sienna is not the one who has his attention. Instead, the lady that has caught the eldest Bridgerton's interest, maybe even his heart, is Kate Sharma. Given that it's the first time we've seen Kate, little is known about her character. One thing is certain for sure: if the teaser accurately portrays her character, Kate Sharma is definitely feisty and headstrong. It seems like the lady will be more than an equal match for the stubborn Viscount. What will happen to the rest of the Bridgertons? With the recent teaser, we know that Anthony is the star of the second season, but we hope to catch a glimpse of the other Bridgerton siblings as well. We've already talked in much detail about Daphne and Colin, but we're also curious to know the fate of the other two older Bridgerton siblings. Eloise Bridgerton has spent much of season 1 expressing her displeasure towards the season and the matchmaking process. On various occasions, we see Eloise talking about her desire for freedom to choose to do as she wishes instead of being tied down by societal standards. In addition, Eloise is determined to find out the identity of Lady Whistledown. Her investigations regarding the mysterious, sharp-tongued gossip writer has even drawn the Queen's attention to her, who hires Eloise to discover the lady's identity. More on Lady Whistledown a bit later in the video, so be sure to watch until the end. Similarly, Benedict Bridgerton also seems to want freedom of sorts. Benedict, much like Eloise, does not want to conform to societal standards. We get a brief glimpse that the second oldest Bridgerton son wishes to pursue art. Will Benedict be able to pursue his dreams? What of Eloise? Will she be able to study like she wishes to? Or will things be more difficult for her given that her dreams don't conform with the 17th century norms for women? How does Lady Whistledown gather information? Now, one thing that many fans are curious about is how Lady Whistledown gathers information for her gossip columns. Throughout season 1, we see Eloise test out various theories on how Lady Whistledown collects her information in order to unveil her identity. At one point, Eloise speculates that Lady Whistledown may be a servant, which is how she gets all her information. At one point, Eloise theorizes that Whistledown may be a widow. Eloise also hypothesized that maybe Lady Whistledown is a tradesperson. However, we never really get a confirmation on how the information is gathered. While the end of season 1 does hint towards who Lady Whistledown could be, we still don't know how the gossip is gathered. Maybe with season 2, we might get a better glimpse into how Whistledown gets her information. What will happen when Lady Whistledown's identity is revealed? Perhaps one of the things that fans are most curious to know is what happens when Lady Whistledown's identity is revealed. The end of season 1 hints that Lady Whistledown is not a servant, neither is she a widow or a tradesperson for that matter. Our mysterious gossip writer is none other than Penelope Featherington. The teaser for season 2 reiterates this information as we see Lady Whistledown making a comeback again, bringing more chaos to the ton. Nearing the end of the teaser, we see that the gossip column is being written by Penelope. Now, we're curious to see what happens when Whistledown's true identity is revealed. What will happen to Penelope and Eloise's relationship? Will Penelope face any repercussions? Especially considering the fact that the Queen is also trying to figure out her identity. There are so many questions in our heads and not enough answers yet. We desperately hope that season 2 of Bridgerton answers at least some of these questions, if not all. What are you most curious about? How do you think season 2 of Bridgerton will play out? Drop us a comment to let us know your thoughts.